Hi guys, hello everyone. Yes, make a circle. So Stacey, Laura, if you want to come out, I love to see people's faces. I want to connect with you, and I want to see your eyeballs. So Pam's always hiding in the corner. I want to see her.
We still see you.
I know. So we have so many exciting things to share with you guys. How many of you went to Vicki this weekend? Woo! It was awesome, huh? So there's about a third of you in the room that went, and so we're gonna I'm gonna go through some announcements. Shannon's gonna do product knowledge, and then we're gonna kind of recap. You know, she was here and poured into us for we had a director's meeting, so it was probably a good between the skincare class and probably a good 9-10 hours of training. And we're gonna condense it all the important stuff that we got in about 45 minutes. Okay, so be prepared. It was awesome. But we are just so excited about our futures and about your futures. So just know you're in the right place at the right time. So get excited. All right, so I'm going to go over some announcements first. First of all, we are in a face race, and we're in the last few days of a face race. So any face that you see, be sure to comment on our Facebook page because we got to win, right? We got to win. And then going along with that, in case you haven't seen, and this helps all the new consultants, just kind of process it. Right now, I want new consultants just focus on 30 practice spaces, okay? But this is an extra little incentive that can help people book with you. Anybody that books with you between now, I think it's March 31st or something, gets entered into a drawing to win a trip or two to New York City and a $1,500 cash drawing. And guess what? You get entered too. So all the people you have entered get entered in as well. So use it as a booking tool. I would ask people, hey, you want to get entered to win $1,500 cash and a free trip to New York City? I don't know anybody who would say no, right? And say all we have to do is get together. We'd have a beauty experience with Mary Kay. You try the products. You take a selfie with them, and then you post it on Instagram, or you can post it on the Mary Kay site. There's a link. And so all the details are online. I've posted it before. It's all on In Touch, but it's super simple. Every face you see counts. So we're in a face race. You guys are doing 30 faces. Use that to help book, okay?
With the selfies that you take, part of the criteria, there's a criteria of how you can win. And I didn't know that until I read it today when I was checking with one of my customers who I forgot to take a selfie with. So I said, when you use your set in the morning or tonight, take a picture, post it on Instagram. As I went and met with her and we went over, there's criteria for creativity. And if you go and look on In Touch and click on the contest, you will see there's people did half their faces, they did the skincare on half and did the glamour on half and then didn't do the other side, so before and after. They've got pictures of people laying out with their hair out and their favorite
So get
products.
creative.
You want to get creative because creativity is one of the criteria of who's going to win.
For those of you that can't hear, we said creativity is huge. So make your pictures creative. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That was good. Okay, a couple other things. You guys know this is the last week to earn the bracelet, the Confident bracelet. And it's super cute. Every time you order 600 wholesale, the company's doing this really cute promo where you get these really cute bracelets. Each month they say something different. This one says joy and sales and party. The one this month says confident. Who doesn't want a bracelet reminding them that they are confident, right? And so you earn it when you order 600 wholesale or more this month, and it's cumulative, okay? So, and that's super simple, you guys. I would love to have you guys focus on selling. We want to have 40 bracelet winners this month, and it's super simple. All it is 12 $100 days, and you can earn a bracelet. It's super duper duper cute. So don't miss that. Okay, the other thing is, last night I did a Peek into Pink marketing. Did you guys see it? You think everyone in the room got invited to it? It was a marketing event where I was on there just sharing facts about the company. It's available till Wednesday, and anybody who just listens gets a free color item. And we had several people listen. I have tons of people that are wanting to sign up or have signed up already because of it. And so all you have to do is, if you say you want to earn your car, have 5-10 people just listen to the information, because most people, just like many of us have said, we never would have signed up unless we just heard about it. So, and those of you that still need to earn your pearls, ask them to just listen. And with the Peek into Pink, they get a free color item just for listening after they follow up with me. Okay? So I challenge you guys right now to have, I'm going to give these away to whoever hits, the rest of these, whoever has, until they're all gone, 5 people just listed the info about or do the peek in the pink before the end of the month. Okay? So, what is it, Jana? Why don't you tell them what this little swatch is?
Oh, so it's a piece of the new director's suit that's coming out in July. And it's for the 55th anniversary. Yeah, so you would like put it underneath, but it's beautiful.
I have you. So every year, so we have director suits. All the directors will wear these to Mary Kay events. And in July, they come out with a new suit, and it's this fabric. It's really cute. It's like, and if you look on our Facebook page, I have pictures of it. It's gorgeous. So I only have a couple of them, so that's what that's about. It's like a goal. It's a tangible goal for you to remind yourself that you're going to be a director. Does that make sense? So I only have 7. So we have 5 people listen to the Peek into Pink. They have to follow up with me. You don't want to watch it. Okay? Then you just keep asking. Your prize is gonna be DIQ. And then you want to get into DIQ, I would say like you need wherever you're at. If you want 18 members times 5, 40. You need 40 people to listen to get your 8. There you go. Okay. All right. The other thing that I want to make sure you guys knew about, and I posted on Facebook, but I wanted to explain it. So there's an event that is coming up, and I posted a video. It's called Career Conference. Who has ever been to Career Conference? Okay, just a couple of you. There are about 30 of you. There are 2 really big events that happen once a year in Mary Kay, okay? One is Seminar, and that's where all of Mary Kay goes to Dallas. And it's a lot more expensive. Seminar is amazing, but you got to pay for plane tickets, hotels. It's 3 or 4 day experience, okay? And it's phenomenal, and in July, you are not going to want to miss it. It's all of Mary Kay, 10,000, 10,000. Well, then there's 5 or 4 seminars. So it's really 40,000 people go to this seminar. It's massive. Okay, so that's in Dallas, where we go to Dallas, all of Mary Kay. Then once a year, they do like mini seminars in locations across the country, and it's always in March. And ours is in Denver, which you guys have is so close. There are people that drive, like I met this lady at Leadership, and her and her team are driving 12 hours to come to the Denver Career Conference. They're coming from South Dakota or North Dakota. Coming from North Dakota. What? 16th and 17th. So for us to only have it be in Denver is like crazy short. Okay, let me tell you, Career Conference is my favorite event. Do you know why? Because it literally changed my career. I am here today probably almost only because of Career Conference. If you guys have heard my story, I signed up for $100 for a friend. Like, I didn't know anybody. These ladies were awesome. And I'm like, you're fun. I can do that. I've never even like tried the products, whatever. I literally signed up for a friend. And then, okay, and so I was living in Washington. The conference was in Portland, 8 hours away. All right. And the Portland conference was sold out. So, because they do sell out sometimes. So we'll talk about deadlines in a minute. But there was a spot that opened up. I didn't even have my starter kit yet, you guys. Like, my starter kit had not even arrived. And all I heard is they said, hey, we have an extra spot that opened up. We have this fun girlfriend's weekend away. That's literally all I heard is this weekend away. It's going to be fun. So I've gotten a car with these ladies I just met. I remember driving down there thinking, I don't know these people. They keep coming. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But they didn't. And I went to this conference 4 days in. So talk about being like a deer in the headlights look. Like, tonight you're going to be overwhelmed. I had like 2 days of like Mary Kay crash course. But that conference changed my life. That's where I met the lady making $10,000 a month. That's where I just saw these women, countless women. There were thousands. So Career Conference is usually a couple thousand people. Okay? And they come from all around. And there was like over 2,000 women. They were all happy. They were nice. And the women walking across stage were just so uplifting and encouraging and positive, and they're women of all different shapes and sizes. You guys see me every week, but when you go to a career conference, you see people of all different age groups and personality types and backgrounds, and it just lets you see that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. And so I went to that conference, and I remember the #1 director there, her story just totally inspired me. She was from Mexico, and when she started Mary Kay, she had no car. She didn't speak English, and her son was literally living back in Mexico because she couldn't afford to take him or to have him live up here. And she was working at a factory, sewing on buttons to coats for a penny a button. Like, that's what she was doing when she came into Mary Kay. And here she was as the #1 director. She was making $20 grand a month. And it just gave me hope that like anybody can do this. She didn't have a car. She didn't speak English. She was broke as a joke. And but she had a desire and she had a dream and she did the work and she pursued it. And so you just get to hear these stories like that just like break your heart, but then just give you so much hope. And so I came back from that conference. I didn't even have my starter kit. I didn't even know what a time-wise cleanser was. I didn't even know what eye makeup mover was. I didn't have a clue, but all I knew is I wanted to be a director. And I wanted to have what they had. And I came home and I was so shy and so nervous, but I warm chattered people because I was so excited. I probably was like this hot mess. I wish I would have viewed my videotape myself. But because I had that passion, I figured it out, right? And so all that to say, Career Conference is really probably the reason I am here today. And so does anyone want to go? Okay. So registration's opened for it, I think today, today it opened up. And I can't remember, I think it's $80. And it's for, is it 75, 80, 95? Okay. I don't even know. Oh, wait, say that again.
So basically, I looked into it and see how much I was trying to figure out scheduling. So if you hold your date and you don't cancel, you get like.
You get probably 25.
You get like 25, not even on seminar. You actually
on products.
It's 40.
Usually products.
You get reimbursed in products, so it gives you credit to use on the next month towards your
next order.
order.
So it costs you $95, but then you get $40 off your next order. So really it's only $55. For what it does for your business, it's totally worth it. It's 2 days of training. It'll be a Friday night, so those of you that work, it's usually from like 7 to 9 on a Friday night. We usually stay up there in Denver. We have a hotel. We'll figure all that out. I would say for now, just register, save your spot because it does sell out. And then it's all day Saturday from like 9 to 5 or something like that. But you're going to hear from the top people in the region. It's pretty cool. So you're going to add something? we may be, we got a lot of work to do.
You
But
get a discount on your seminar.
Yeah.
Sign up for.
So our goal is to have 40 people attend. So I wanted to just tell you guys about Career Conference because it's pretty powerful and I'd love for you to go. So, all right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay. All right.
I'm going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm handing around the cleaning sheet. So I know. I just want to make sure I got that in there. I'm handing around the cleaning sheet. So there's tables, chairs. So basically, I want 3 people signed up for each thing, and each will be the next person. So I'm starting tonight. So if you're able to stay and help me up for tonight. And then on the bottom is for snacks. Obviously, we're going to have snacks today. So we're going to figure this out. So for next week, if you want to sign up for snacks, put your name and your phone number. And that's kind of the thing. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So what we can help with tonight. Well, you can help with tonight, put your name on the very first list. If you want to help out next week, you can put your name in front of that. So it's just kind of starting your phone. Okay.
It only takes like 5 minutes if we're all working
If
together.
we're all here doing it, it's not that bad. But I just want to get somewhat of the system going rather than everyone leaving and then we're all here. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. So product knowledge tonight, ladies. How many of you guys have seen or used our beauty blotters?
Oh, they're awesome.
Amazing.
These things are absolutely so cool. We have lots of cool oil absorbing products for oily skin, but these are some of my favorites. It takes away your shine and helps your makeup last longer. There's 75 in a packet, and they're only $6 retail, so $3 for you guys to order. You can use them if you have sensitive skin or hypoallergenic. They're non-comedogenic. They're not going to clog your pores. There's not really much to them. It's just a tissue, and it absorbs oil. I'm going to show you guys. Kind of gross.
It doesn't take off makeup.
I can use like 10 on my face now.
Yeah, see?
It doesn't take off
I don't know if you
makeup.
guys can see, but
Yeah.
It takes off makeup.
but it doesn't take your makeup off.
Just the shine. It
Just the
makes it
shine. And the way you use it is you press. You don't rub. You just press wherever you're oily, and then you roll them up in a little tiny ball and throw them in your purse.
shine.
Or you put them on your plate at a restaurant. But these are like great gifts. Like if you want to just introduce somebody to Mary Kay, like this isn't a bad way to start because they're not really using any skincare. But it's like where can I get more oil? So I'm an oily girl, so I love these things. I have them in my purse all the time, and it makes me feel better. You guys see my shine disappear?
Yes.
Boom, magic. So yeah,
Yes,
that's what I love. So
You'll pass them around. You just can at least
yeah, you
feel
guys
them.
can feel them and take one out if you want, but those are mine.
I love it though because I used to use, because I've always had really oily skin, like the plasticky ones. Like I had clean clear ones, and they would always take all the makeup off.
Yep.
And so I'd have all this makeup. I'm like, that's pointless. That just takes the shine. It's just paper, just oil absorbing paper. It's really cool.
Yeah, just push and let it stick for a second, and then boom, it's all. I mean, it's just crazy.
They also
And then you're
come
like,
in the Fairproof set.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So that was my lesson for you guys today. Because we don't ever use them in facials or anything, but they're really nifty. So if you have oily people, that would be one of the things I would recommend, especially if they wear makeup. Because it doesn't disturb your foundation. So yeah.
Got any questions about them? Yeah. Anyone else want to add anything? Just use them. Yeah, they're really simple.
I know it was pretty easy.
But that's a good one that we forget to talk about. Yeah, and it's super cheap. I mean, they're really, really inexpensive. That's a really quick upsell that is very inexpensive. That if people that have oily skin, you can just ask them, hey, do you ever use beauty products? Does your face get oily in the middle of the day? Because a lot of people, even if they're using great skincare, their skin will still get oily throughout the day. But that's a great product.
Yep.
So,
and you can do it real fast and very indiscreetly, and it's not applying another layer of makeup to your face. It's just taking away the problem. So
yeah, I know.
Okay, so that was that. And so the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is we have a vendor booth opportunity. We got a booth at the Pikes Peak Cup, which is a gymnastics tournament. And so we have a booth at a tournament. It's a 3-day booth. It's Friday through Sunday this coming weekend. So we want 2 people per shift, and the shifts are 2 hours, and they're $5. So each 2-hour shift, if you want to work one, it's $5 and you pay. Christina.
Where's it?
It's at the Broadmoor.
And I found this one, and I talked to a lady. She said that's a big event. Like there are several thousand people that go through it on the weekend. So it's a great way to figure out.
I'm curious what you guys mean by like, you work for 2 hours, you pay $5. Is that just you get all the sales out that 2 hours?
Yeah, it's not
So we
sales.
don't sell. So for new people, we don't sell at the. What we do specifically is get people. We do have the product on hand, yes, but
To show.
but not to sell, because if they're consultant, if they have something else going on. Now, however, if someone's harassing you, I want to buy it now, because that could happen. It happened to me once. Just be like, great, let me get your name, your number, I'll get with you afterwards, because you can't exchange money at the table.
Plus, it makes it easier on you. I always tell people, I don't want to carry all my inventory here,
Right.
but because it's a pain in the butt, like to drag all this inventory into a thing. Like I tell people, I don't want to carry all my inventory in, but let me get your name and number, and I'll deliver it to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, then it's way easier. And then I always tell them, then you don't have to carry it around the booth.
Yeah.
You know, because if they buy something, they got to carry it all around. And so when you word it like that, then it's a
They're
win-win.
pretty chill about it. Yeah.
Plus, that, like, someone could come up to you and they'd be like, oh, I want an eye makeup remover. That could just be like a $15 sale. But if you get her name and number and you turn it into a facial and you build a relationship with her, it's not just going to be a $15 sale. When you get with her, she's probably going to want to buy way more stuff, and she'll build a relationship to come back to you and not just hop around to Mary Kay consultant, Mary Kay consultant. So really, when you do a booth, it's more about getting leads and then scheduling a time to get together with them and meet with them one-on-one. So, but whoever works that time slot usually gets the leads, because those are the people you're connecting with. Once again, it's all about a relationship.
And if there's 2 of you, like, say Christina's talking to somebody, and then she takes the lead and puts it in her own little stash, and I'm talking to somebody. So it's not intermingling.
That's fun.
I did it with me and Deanna did one, and she had her stash, I had mine, it worked out great. So
Yeah,
we did the peppers thing.
yeah, it's super easy. So
Yeah, and we'll have the booth already set up and all that stuff. So you guys just have to show up and work for 2 hours. But Friday, so some of the slots already have 2 names in them, but if you want to do it, just write your name and then maybe put your name and phone number down here, because I didn't know how to make it bigger. So
all right, go and pass it around, and we'll get started. I'm going to swap back with you.
Is that for the food?
yes.
yeah,
So this
for the
is
booth.
for
So it starts
This weekend,
Friday
isn't it?
at 8 a.m.
This
Yes.
Friday. And it's a long day.
Yeah,
That's why
Friday
we're not.
8 a.m. to 10
But
p.m.
that's why
Saturday
you're.
That's why we're
Clean it up.
breaking it up. Yeah.
is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday is 8 a.m. to
or something like that. Yeah. So it was just a long thing to do. And then the lady I set up for, she's all about keeping it in the family.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. All right. Okay, guys, we're gonna get started with some training. You ready to learn? All right. So, oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but I don't even know where to start with all the Vicki stuff. So there was so much that we learned, and I don't know, it was so powerful. But yet, what I loved about it, it was so simple. It was so simple. Shh. Okay. So one of the first things that I think I want to talk about, because I want us to not forget this, because this is so simple. Do you have yours already done? I'm gonna pass this around. And what I know is that, and this is one thing that she said, and we just need to be reminded of it, is this business is so simple that we overcomplicate it by overthinking things, completely overthinking things, that we've got to go back to the basics and really keep it simple. And so what she did, and I put this on our our Facebook page, because what this is intended to look like. Christina, do you have the notebook she gave you? I mean, I just went and bought one, but I want everyone. How this works is that you buy. Okay, so this concept. Let me preface this. You don't want to earn a free car. Is anyone okay? So the tool that I'm giving you right now can help you earn a free car. Are you ready? Super duper simple. But the key is to track it and to track the activity. It's one thing to say, I want to earn a free car, and then do nothing, right? And not even know where to start. That this is a very simple tool that can give you a plan, okay? And you guys have heard me talk about the free car workload, but I like this better because there's more detail involved. All right, so all you need is a notebook. This was 79 cents at Walgreens, okay? So not much, but it's going to be worth it. And what she said is her very first notebook earned her free car. And then she said her second notebook was like earning her Cadillac, I think, right? Her second notebook earned her Cadillac. Her third notebook earned her like the top sales director trip, I think. And so you guys, this concept works. And she literally says that she has a stack of these in her office, and they remind her that this got her there. Okay, are you ready? Ready? Super duper duper simple. So all you need is a notebook, and then you need 4 of these tracking sheets. And like I said, I print them off on our Facebook page. You can make copies of them. Courtney said the margins were kind of weird on this. You may have to use your scissors. Oh no! And so on the very first page of your notebook, all you're going to do is you're going to, like Christina, she made one for Christina and she put in there. So it's just literally glued on there. Okay? Yeah, looks like a glue stick. So super simple, not fancy. Okay? We're very simple. And so you put that on there, and then what you do is you flip back 15 pages. 15 pages. So write this down. This is important. 15 pages, and then you put another one. Okay? Then you put another one. So Christina then has another one. Right? It's very simple. Then you put another one. And I'll show you in a minute what this is. And then you flip 15 pages. Then you put another one. And then you put 15 pages, and then another one. Okay? You get the concept, right? All right. So now I'm going to tell you what you're going to do on each of those, on what you're going to, how you're going to utilize this, all right? And you know what was interesting? By the way, you know Christina is about to just finish up DIQ after only being in the company 2.5 months. 2.5 months. And it was funny because I heard her go up to Vicki afterwards and say, you know what? And she had her list, like, I don't know where it is. She had her list of literally almost the exact same thing. Look at that paper, y'all. This is, she's been tracking.
I track my prizes.
She's a prize motivated girl.
But I wrote a list, so they tell you when you start, you should write a list of everybody knows skin. So I did that. Well, I didn't write everybody. First I went off my Facebook. But I wrote everybody's name that I could think of, and I put interview facial recruit. Which is what's on the sheet. And then I wrote the date in which I interviewed facial or recruited them. And so I was already doing that. But what I was missing is the 15 pages.
Yeah. So I'll explain what that is in a minute. But you guys, the point is she did this activity and look where she is. Okay? because the activity is where it's at. So let me explain what this is, okay? So you got the concept. You're gonna make your binder. You're gonna print off 4 of these, and then all this is, okay, look at this paper, okay? You look at this paper, it's on our Facebook page. All it has is your name, is the name on the first column. So, and you have it lines to 30, their cell phone number, and then it's just tracking if they were a facial, that means there's one-on-one, if they were a hostess. So let's say you meet with them at first, they were facial, and then you book that party with her. And she talked so much about the party and the power of it. So you can go back and watch the videos and get the training. Brianna recorded a video of her actually doing her facial, which is very different and very simple. Very, very, very simple. And she talked to us about how to use the flip chart. We'll go over that in a second. But once she does a facial, you want her to be a hostess. And I think that's where a lot of us are missing, in that if someone does a facial, and then we don't book that second appointment with them, then we've lost that lead, right? That those are our best leads, you guys. You get so much more bang for your buck with that girl that just had a facial with you and loves the products than running around town and trying to find 20 new names. The people that you facial are your best hostesses. And do you know that she talked about this, she doesn't run around and get leads. Does that free up anybody?
Oh my God.
She does not run around and get leads, ever. She says she hates that.
She's never launched at it.
She's never once at it.
She said she did it once in December.
She did it once in DIQ when she had 12 of her appointments canceled when she was in DIQ because there was a hurricane. Think about that. She had 12 appointments on their books and all of them canceled. Okay. And she made it work. She made it work, you guys. She made it work. Okay, but the concept is that we're forgetting about the people that we have in our lives that we have not asked. And her and I have talked about this a lot, that we know that most consultants and most people are afraid to ask the people in their life and the relationships that they already have, where it's way easier to ask that person than it is to run around and ask 20 people you don't even know. You guys know people and you have relationships with people that you've got to ask them to help you. And women want to help you, but we have to get over ourselves and just ask them to just help. So your customers that have bought product from you, or your acquaintances, I tell you as a new consultant to make a list of 100 people with skin. I do that for a reason, because those people are going to be your best hostesses that most of you have not really utilized, and tap into the people that you know. Okay? And it's way easier to ask those people than it is to run around town. Okay? Anyways, a total side note. It was all about that. Okay. So the first column is facial. Then once they facial, you book them for a hostess to have a party for you and earn free products. CC means career chat. Did you share the business information with her? Did you, a lot of you in the room, I would never expect you to feel comfortable doing a career chat. That's when you send them to me. You say, I'm in training. I need to have 20 people just listen. Will you watch this video? Will you do a three-way call with my director? We do this for you. You don't have, you send them to me for this, okay? Until you feel comfortable doing your own. Or guest. The next column is guest. Did they come as a guest to an event? And then the last column is signed agreement. If you do all of these things, you're probably going to end up getting a signed agreement, okay? But you may do all these things. Like Vicki said, there's tons of people that I've career chatted and then they've come as guests and they choose not to sign up. That's okay, but I've worked them full circle, okay? So all right, every face you see, you put her on here for facial, and then hostess, career chat, then guest, and then agreement. Does that make sense? So what you do on the 15 pages in between, and this is where it's brilliant, and like Christina said, this is what she was missing, is the 15 pages in between. On every single page, you write her name and then any notes about her. So every person that's on these 30, you're going to write their name and then any notes about her. And I love that. That's brilliant, because I have tracked my faces, but then I'll look back 3 months later and be like, who was that? I don't remember. And yeah, and you're feeling really bad and guilty. So if it's super simple, you write on one side any notes about her, anything she liked, anything you remember about her kids, what she does, and then you turn over the paper, and then the other side has the second person on it. Does that make sense?
But you also want to write on the page, on their personal page, every time you call them.
Yeah.
I call them, I text them, I left a message.
Then you know
about
how
this
many
or that.
times.
So you can
The follow-up,
give
too.
it a break if you need a follow-up. And so I call people and they're like, oh yeah, remind me, in 2 weeks that you have that looking up, and if I don't write it down, I don't write it with where I have their names, then I have that space. And so I would forget until like the day before. And then they're like, oh, I mean another client needed from my and so just keeping that steady note of what you spoke to them about, or that you told them that you left the message, that you text them about this event or that event, or this cell. Sometimes you offer cells to some people that you don't offer to others.
Yeah. Yes. Good. So is that simple? Can you get excited about it? You do that activity, you fill one, she called it her power notebook, you do that power notebook, and you prove me wrong if you're not in your free car. And here's how it's 30 faces a month for 4 months. Pretty much all it is 30 faces a month for 4 months. And working them full circle and not just selling, not just booking them. Yeah. I'm trying to think where there's sales on here. I thought there was sales on
At the bottom.
But no, she went in the facial box, the day facial them, and then the skincare set.
Okay, because I was like, wait a minute,
so
there's
she
got to
had
be
a
something
key.
there about
She said there happened to be at the bottom, but it got lost.
moved or something. Yeah.
And so she would put like if it was time-wise or repair or care food, so she'd put like CP.
And you can put that in the notes too.
Yeah, but she would just put it in there with the date. And like for the hostess, when you schedule them, she put it in pencil, and when they held, you put it in pen. You would change it.
Christine, you want to come over here so they can hear you a little better? One thing that I loved about this is she said, well, let me backtrack. One thing I wrote down, she said, your goal is a dream if it's not trackable. Your goal is a dream if it's not trackable. You know, you can say, I want to earn a free car. I want to provide financially for my family. I want to do whatever. But if you're not tracking it and you're not seeing where you're at, then it's all emotion based. Because what do we do as women? You know, we have a bad day and then we're like, I suck at America, I'm not making money. But if we track it, we can go back and look, oh wait, I did matches and look how much I sold here. Oh wait, I did this person and I sold, X amount here. And if you have something tracking it, then it's a business. You can look at it logically and not just emotionally.
Oh my God, on $1 Million Message today, they said, keep a notebook of your wins. All your wins. And on another training last week, they said the same thing. That way you can go back and look. Because when you're feeling like, oh, I'm not doing anything, you can look at every win.
That's good.
And one of the nationals said, like, even if it's, you learned how to tie your shoe when you were 5, that's a win.
Yeah. You showed up tonight. That's a win.
That's a win. And you write it down. You go back and go. Because it's easy to forget all the things you've accomplished when you're in that dark place where you're beating up yourself. It's so easy to forget all the things that you have done. And if you keep it in a notebook, you'll be like, oh, I guess it's not that bad. Like in my first 2 weeks, I didn't think that I was doing what I was doing because I hadn't gone back and looked at my numbers. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to happen on like the last day. I don't know. Oh, I can't believe and it all worked out.
Do you count your first 2 weeks from when you get your starter kit?
No, I counted from the day I signed up.
She signed up November 15th and went on charter for her car in 15 days.
And
yeah.
Submitted to the
Yeah, and then she's going to be a director 2 months later. Pretty awesome. So it can happen. Doing the activity is the key. Okay, what I loved about that is real quickly, one of the things I love about her verbiage is she said, I need 30 opinions of the product. Write that down. Y'all need to take notes. This is some big stuff. This is the verbiage y'all are looking for. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, I don't want to bug people. I don't want to do this or that. 30 opinions. What woman does not want to give her opinion? I don't know any woman who does not want to give her opinion. And just be honest with them. Say, Laura, I need to know if this stuff is great or does it really suck? And you guys are new, so just be honest. Say, I don't know if it's any good. Just start trying to find 30 people's opinion. You guys know it's good stuff. You will know. But what I loved about Vicki's story is she had a very scientific background that she went into her first facial trying to save this lady from Mary Kay and prove her wrong about how horrible this company was. And instead, she was completely impressed with the products, right? But people need to just, okay, so so that's a great way to book and say, I would love 30 opinions of our product line. I'm brand new. I need 30 opinions. And just for giving me your opinion, you get entered to win a trip to New York City and $1,500 cash.
And do you have any friends who would like to give you their
I need to do
opinion?
30 pages.
Do you have any opinionated friends? But you see how this can help you, and then it's so simple, and literally you would carry this notebook with you everywhere and say, look, I just need to fill these lines. Like, I need 30 opinions. And then when you're asking for referrals, I need 30 opinions. Do you know anyone who would give me their opinion of our products? Does that make sense? Does that take the pressure off of you and not feeling like you have to make it about you and like, oh, I don't want to look stupid or bug her or whatever. Everyone wants to give their opinion, okay? And what that does for those people who are like, I don't like Mary Kay, well, I'd love your opinion. Tell me it's horrible. 9 times out of 10, it's been years since they've tried it, and they have not tried it recently, right? Okay, so use that. The other thing, the other verbiage that I wrote down is she can call, you said call your current customers, because most of you, us included, myself totally included, I have not worked this entire thing all the way across, okay? And you guys that are brand new, start this now. It'll make you way more money and get you way further. Because a lot of times, new consultants, they just blow through their 30 faces and they're just literally plowing through them, but not working them full circle, not closing them, not selling skincare sets, not booking that second appointment where you can have her be a hostess for you and earn free product. And then you have her listen to the business opportunity. Like literally tell people, I need to fill in all these lines. So my next job is to ask you if you'll be a hostess. Then I need to ask you, will you just listen so I can put a little X here? Then I need to have you, does that make sense? So it dumbs it down to where it's not about you. I just need to fill in the paper, okay? So you can blame the paper. And I love it.
Career chat, you want to put the date that you did it, and you want to put the rating, like a 1 through 10 of interest.
Like, you show interest and put a higher number. She was like, I listened to it, can I have my free stuff? Then you're going to put her down the lower stuff.
And then you can use that as a tool later to be like, hey,
Follow up.
have you if I want to get more interested now or how I present it.
Good. The other thing that I loved for those of us that have not done all of that is this is the verbiage. Write this down. If you feel like, oh, that's me, I have a lot of faces that I just plowed through. You go back to your customers and you say, I need to apologize to you. I just went to this awesome training. And I realized that this awesome training, I realized that I've not done my job and in facialing you. And I have not done what I'm supposed to do. And what this can be is sometimes we have those customers who just like buy some things randomly, but we've never actually facialed them. I think we've all had those people where they just buy something randomly. And this is where you can go to them and say, I am so sorry, Debbie. I just realized I have not done my job and I haven't facialed you.
Let me make it up to you.
Yes.
Because Mary Kay asked that we book 2 appointments
A day.
Oh,
yeah, with each person.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and actually it's 3. That you do the skincare, then the glamour makeup, and then I guess events. And so my job is to book these 3 events with you, and I have an outfit that you. I'm gonna make it up to you. And generally people are like, oh, she's gonna make it up to me. Okay,
yeah, I can do that. That make sense?
Yeah.
So I would challenge you guys. I can't say it enough to start tracking your activity. Okay? And then start a notebook now. I promise you'll be so much happier and not be like a lot of us in the room that have been in for a while and we're like, I should have tracked it. Okay? Super, super simple. You start now. All right, let's see. What else did she say? Moving on. Okay. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to talk about a couple other things, though. One thing that, I did love this. I'd never heard this said before, but going along with the facial, she was talking about inventory and the importance of getting to a full store as soon as possible. A full store is 3,600 wholesale. And what she said, this was brilliant, that our biggest competition out there is not other companies. Do you realize that? Our biggest competition is not other direct selling companies. Our biggest competition is convenience. Let that sink in for a second. Our biggest competition is convenience. Because when someone runs out of their mascara, they can go to Walgreens. They can go to mascara. That if you don't have inventory and a full store of inventory, you're losing customers left and right. And I just had never heard that concept. I thought it was so brilliant. You guys, Mary Kay takes the risk out of inventory for us. Why not do whatever you can to get inventory? Because that is what we offer, and that is a huge advantage that she talked about. So I love that because I've never heard of that before. And customer service is so important to be able to give them their stuff right away, right away. So I want to mention that really quickly. The other thing is that she talked about really tracking your money as a consultant. And when she talked about the weekly accomplishment sheet, I think everybody went like blank. What is a weekly accomplishment sheet? How many of you in the room have actually used one? Oh, look, how many of you say use it consistently every week? Okay, I was going to say maybe one or two. Okay, I maybe get one every 3 weeks from people. And so, so I wanted to just mention this really briefly because she talked about, and what I loved about, she talked about so many great things, but paying yourself weekly. And if you don't use the weekly accomplishment sheet, you don't know how much to pay yourself weekly.
Well, it's just like,
You don't know.
write your
Husband a check.
Write your husband a check because if he's like, oh, you don't make any money, even if it's $5, hey, I made $5.
But what was really important about that, to understand about that, is that's only if you have a full store of inventory.
Oh, okay.
Because when you get to a full store of inventory, then you're not reinvesting your profit, right? And so that's why it's important to get to full store as quickly as possible. But the weekly accomplishment sheet keeps you, and you guys, if you own any other business, most businesses have to take out 10, 20, 50, $100,000 loans. And there's no 90% buyback guarantee. That this is meant to be a business and that you use a portion of your business to pay back that initial investment. It isn't supposed to come from your pocket. It isn't supposed to come from your personal finances. But anyways, this weekly accomplishment sheet helps you track that. And I don't think enough of you guys are tracking your money and your sales to know how much you're supposed to pay yourself. And so what do? If we don't track, then we just keep doing stuff. And then you're like, am I making any money? Well, you don't know if you're not tracking it, right? That the weekly accomplishment sheet, I'll pass it around, but all of this is on In Touch. That I would encourage you, that I really felt like after the weekend, I really needed to just share a little bit about what the weekly accomplishment sheet is. Now, by the way, some of these are front to back, and then some of these, it's 2 pages, okay? So wherever you're at in the stack, make sure you get both of these things, okay? So some of them are like this, some of them are like this, okay? But what this does is, okay, I'll pass it around. I just had to explain it. I'm like, where did that happen? I'm not really sure how some of them got split up, but anyways, I'll pass them around. The point of that is it tracks your sales. So it tracks it for you, and then it splits all your money, and then it tells you how much you can pay yourself each week. It's brilliant. Then you can write that check to yourself and know this is how much I keep. Because if you don't do this, then what happens is you end up reinvesting, or you don't really know how much you want to take out because you don't know how much you've made and you're not really sure. And so you end up not taking anything, and that's the worst thing you can do is not pay yourself. You have to pay yourself something, but then you can also be reinvesting your money as well. But that's your choice. But if you guys can start now in the beginning of getting really good about money management, and in my new consultant training and my miscellaneous training, I talk about money management, but I think people are just like skim over it. But this is so important, okay? So I really want you guys tracking your week accomplishment sheet. So let me tell you where you find this real quick, and then I'll answer your questions. So it's on In Touch under Business Tools, Weekly Accomplishment Sheet. Back in the day when I was a consultant, we had to fill these out each week, and we didn't get recognition up front if we didn't fill out our paper. So that may happen if y'all don't do it, because it's important for you to track. I want to know how much, I want you to know how much money you're making, okay? And if you're not tracking, then you don't know. And what's really cool, okay, let me tell you another really cool thing. You guys aren't using all of the tools that are available on In Touch. Do you know that on the My Customers app, if you use the My Customers app, it will, every time you sell something, yes, you only have to take the time to do this. So those of you that are new, write that down. My Customers app, you're going to want to download it. It's free, and it is the coolest thing.
And you can do your inventory right on it.
Yes.
And you're entering your customers and your profile cards into it. It also subtracts out of your inventory and tells you, hey, it's time to reorder again. This, you're running low on this. So it's neat how it all works together. And you can just scan your package shipping label, and it uploads the inventory for you, so you don't have to do each individual item.
Awesome. So the My Customers app makes your life so easy. So I wanted you to have a copy of the weekly accomplishment sheet, but just know that I just wanted you to see what's on there, but you can use the technology. Thank the Lord. Okay, back in the day, and I had to pay $100 a year for a tracking system that is now free on the My Customers app. Okay, it manages all your inventory, manages all your customers, so you can literally input your customers, input their sales, and it'll notify you when they need to be contacted for reorders. It'll notify you of their birthdays, everything. You can use it, and then it will input it into this weekly accomplishment sheet every time you make a sale, and then it will split your money for you. So if you guys use the tools that are available to you, it makes your life so simple. But I want you to use it because one thing she said, and this really struck me, is that one of the number one reasons people quit is because they don't feel like they're making money. But the bottom line is they're making money, they're not tracking it. Everybody makes money in Mary Kay, but it's a matter of tracking it and looking at it and being like, oh wow, I just made $50 an hour. You know, that was super simple, right? But if you're not tracking it, then when we get emotional, we're in a down place, then we don't make a logical decision, we make an emotional decision. Does that make sense?
Get that cash, put it in your wallet, and then spend it on something. Forget, oh yeah, I need that money.
Right. I've seen people do that all the time where they'll go to a party, they have $200 in their hand and they spend it on the way home. And then they forget 3 months later that they made $200. They just don't have a way to track it and see that, oh yeah, I did make $200 at that party. I just spent on groceries on the way home. And then the husband sees that, oh, she made money and she paid for groceries. But 3 months later, you're not going to remember that when you stopped at Walmart on the way home. Does that make sense? So it's so important to track, she said, because you guys, we have to treat this like a business, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Literally, if you take 10, 15 minutes each week to do this stuff online, you're going to have your money tracked. It's that simple. And I think a lot of people feel like this big, overwhelming thing where it's not. You just got to start. Does that make sense? So use the technology.
And she said when you do your weekly plan sheet, schedule,
Yes.
a couple hours or 20 minutes, depending on your level of activity, to do all your administration stuff. So you can enter your stuff. Some people like to do it as they got their profile cards and did their classes. And some people just did it at the end of the week. And so they could have their sheets, their weekly accomplishment sheets, but just set that time, book that time with yourself to do it.
Yeah.
I have a question. On the weekly accomplishment sheets, when we fill that out on InTouch, can you see it?
Yeah.
So like
if you
if you
send
need
it
to
to
work
me.
on something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys, the weekly accomplishment sheets are meant for me to help you. Because I don't know what you're doing. Like you could be, seeing 20 million faces and I'm saying that you're selling this product or saying that you're doing something. But when I get to see that and I see, oh, Sonia saw 20 faces and she didn't sell any skincare sets, we need to have a conversation, right? That it helps me help you about, I want to help make sure you're hitting the $50 average, right? A face. But I can't help you if I don't know and you're not tracking it. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying everybody in general. I don't get weekly accomplishment sheets from anybody, but it helps me help you. Because when I see your activity, I can see if you're selling sets. And you know what is the best thing? One of the best things that I think Vicki talked about this is fill it out even if you have a $0 week. Because when you have a $0 week, it's very motivating to be like, I don't like sending that to Candace, but then you're being accountable for your activity. Does that make sense?
And she
So.
uses her sheets. She prints them every week.
Yeah.
And she uses them for tax time.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
got it
it's
all
going to use the
tracked.
tax thing. Okay, we're going to move on. You can ask the questions later because we have to talk about the princess and the pauper. It was so good. We can talk about them later. Because I got to go in there, and I know Jana's going to do new consultants, but I want you guys to definitely talk about the princess and the pauper mentality because that was so big. She talked about that at the director day. So we're gonna do a little switcheroo for the last 15 minutes. If you're a new consultant, this is your first meeting. You're gonna go with Jana. So Jana, why don't you take them to the very back room, and then I'm gonna go recruit your guests, and then these lovely ladies, Elizabeth, why don't you sit up here, and then finish it up, and then when you shut down, hit and move. Got it? Okay. Do a little swap-a-roo.
Hey.
So, yeah. They want to see it. There's so many times they've asked us how much do you make? I don't have a pencil.
Okay, guys, real quick before we jump into Prince and Popper, if you get a chance to, oh, sorry.
I just have a question about the booth. Yeah. Is this coming up again?
Yeah.
I thought we had a makeup class.
There is.
There is.
So it's
Yeah.
only if you're not if you haven't already obligated yourself to the Lori Hawk thing, or whatever else is
Yeah.
going on in your life.
Yeah.
So that's the second, the third, fourth.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that
It's at the Broadmoor.
things were overlapping.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this event is at the Broadmoor, and there's some details, so I will contact everybody and let them know,
Okay, yeah.
because you have to come early, because we get 2 passes to come in and
Yeah.
out of the door, otherwise it's $15 entrance fee.
So you have to like meet each
So-
other.
And it's okay to do more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The more, yeah.
So if you know, when you're coming in, the other person has to
And,
come give you the pass so you can get
We can only do basically,
I was wondering.
I was just gonna say, so 2 at a time because of the maps, but.
yeah, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, and plus-
in the morning.
What?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
We'll
take
work
care
it.
of
We'll
all
work that out. Real quick before I jump into this, if you mind. If you're able to watch her skincare class, she shows us how to use this, and it's awesome. I can go over this afterwards if you guys want me to, because she has my list is somewhere on the table, but it's a step by step of how she does her skincare class. But anyway.
A video?
There's a video online. Brianna videotaped her skincare class, and she gets very facts and technical. It was really good. She switched things up that I haven't done, and I'm gonna try. So we'll see. But she also shows us how to use this too.
And that was on the training.
Yeah, that was on the training.
Video,
But,
which is posted.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, Courageous has several things. I don't know if the actual training was.
the training has been uploaded. She uploaded it
Okay.
yesterday. The facial has not been uploaded.
Okay.
No.
But it's
No,
already-
we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it.
Oh, is it?
Okay, so that's all there. So, but I want to emphasize this was talked to us directors and PIQs on Friday night, and this was very powerful, and I felt the need to share. If you want to jump in. Okay. So she emphasized the entire Friday night about a princess mentality versus a pauper mentality. Now, princess mentality, it's there's so much she went into this.
She said, "Train to reign.
train to
You are
reign,
daughters of the king.
and that is
You
how we
are
should
a
act."
princess."
Another big thing she talks about, responsibility is our response to his ability. That is our call. And another thing before I jump into this too is she a lot of times she said about homeschooling your kids or doing Mary Kate, it wasn't her calling, but she was called to do it. Whether or not you feel like this is where you're supposed to be, whether or not you feel directorship is your thing, it might not be initially, but that is what we're called to do, is to reign. We're daughters and princesses of God Almighty. So that's a lot of what she emphasized on Friday. And if you want to, I'm going to read the list of what she means. So this is what it looks like. So princess on one side, pauper on the other.
You say the responsibility.
Yeah. Responsibility is our response to his ability. Yeah. No, that was good. I was like, oh my God. Everything she said, I was like, so what I did is I drew a line down the middle. I did princess on the left and pauper on the right. And this is the different mind frame of what a princess thinks and a pauper thinks. And these are really good. So I kind of want to make sure we all get all 8 of these because it was intense. So a princess invites growth opportunities into her life. She invites the challenges. She invites, because that's her growing, whether it's spiritually, whether it's in her business, whether it's whatever. A pauper runs away from the opportunities, which is a huge thing. Runs from growth opportunities. The princess invites the growth opportunities in her life. The pauper runs away from the growth opportunities.
And so what that looks like is how are you going to respond to God?
Mhm.
When you're uncomfortable with something, sit in it.
Yeah.
Pray about it.
Ask how to respond.
Ask how to respond. Because she had spoke about when the 12 parties canceled in 2 days,
Yep.
as it happened to be during 2
And she yelled
birthdays
at
that
the last
were crisscrossing the country, she yelled at the last
Like literally yelled at this
She-
poor lady.
She's a firecracker. She is a firecracker. And so
there's a way that she wants to deal with things, but she'll feel uncomfortable with it. And so she has to sit in, how should I respond to what God is saying?
So that was a big one.
And the popper does what?
The popper runs away from growth opportunities, so avoids it like the plague. The next point is have stellar So the princess has stellar communication with God, family, mentor, peers, team, and customers. So it has stellar communication with God, family, mentor, peers, team, and customers. And that's how she listed it.
God, family.
God first, family second, mentor, peers, team, and customers.
Mentors, peers, team.
And customer, yep. But I like how she listed God and family first. That is our motto. That is what we should be living by. And I'm gonna admit all of that. That's not how it's been a lot. Because you're on the go, but you need to take a step back.
Are you using a post-it?
Yeah, I can.
Recording.
Oh, it's recording. So there you go. I can type up something too.
Or take a picture.
Or take a, yeah. You don't want to see my handwriting. It's not the prettiest in this book. But yeah, I'll type it up tonight and I can post it on there. So a popper ignores or procrastinates communication. A big thing she talked about was, as a leader, when your team member gets back to you with a question, are you going to take 3 hours to get back to them, or are you going to try to get back to them as soon as possible? She knows several directors. She mentioned that weeks she wouldn't hear anything from them. As a leader, we need to respond quickly. If we don't know the answer, hey, let me get back to you as soon as I know.
Because people, they equate their value and their worth upon how quickly people respond to them.
So if you're being put off, then obviously you're not
You feel
valued
like
enough.
you're not valued. And that might not be the person's intention.
No.
That's why, as royalty, you have to be taken
This is a standard.
This is the level you have to become.
And she even, like she was saying, if she hears a box, she boxes them back right away. And people are like, oh, your timing's really good. She goes, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget. Because that's how some people are. Like, I'm like that sometimes. So it's gotten a lot better, but that's something, because we're just crazy busy. Sometimes it just looks out of your head. But if you're doing it right then and there, that's gonna show.
I'm not busy. Your life is full.
There you go. That's what it is. I'm not busy. Your life is full. Anytime someone asks you, how are you? I know, girl. You were over there. All right.
It's coming.
So the next one, a princess takes initiative in anything. And a popper waits for others.
And so with the initiative takers, she says, save and register for events. Like as soon as it becomes available, register. Save, when you make sales and you're doing your weekly accomplishment sheet, she has an account. She said, if you don't have this savings account, savings checking account, you need to have it. Where you put away 10%, 5%, whatever you decide is useful for you and the level of your business. So, because you know these events are coming every year.
That finance should not stop you.
You have career conference, you have seminar, or Lori Hogg, or what have you. You know these events come.
But I think she was saying she takes what, $400 or $200?
400.
She takes $400 a month.
I think it was a week.
Oh, a week.
I
I
was
gonna say I don't know.
You just dream big.
Yeah, there you go. But she knows it's coming. She said finances should never stop you. That should push you to do it. I like this tattoo here. This is going really well. Okay, so a princess leads herself well, takes responsibility. It is our job to pull ourselves out of discouragement. And a popper sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I'll do it again. So a princess leads herself well, takes responsibility. And then in parentheses, I put, it's our job to pull ourselves out of discouragement. One more time. And then a popper places responsibility on everyone else. So as a leader, when you're having a down moment, when you're having, yes, reach up always, but when you're the person that's up,
Yeah, don't believe or put down
the people you should be with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she mentioned having mentors outside of Mary Kay, like having a spiritual mentor,
Pastors, yeah.
so that you don't.
But she's the number 3rd in the nation, guys. Like,
Number 1 in Sapphire.
yeah, number 1 in Sapphire. So besides nationals, like, but she was saying having other people besides the Mary Kay too. But yeah, she doesn't have time for pity parties. She doesn't have time to sit and wallow and, oh, I didn't make this deal. It's okay. I need to go talk to somebody. She knows what to do. Okay. So a princess leads regardless of numbers of circumstances or emotions. Okay, making sure I got that right. I'm trying to read my own handwriting.
Regardless of.
Circumstances or emotions. A pauper uses circumstances or emotions to excuse the silence. And that's heavy.
And if so, you really want to get into the nitty gritty of this. She said this all came from a book,
Which
and
I'm getting it.
it's called The Supernatural Ways of Royalty. And so all of this came straight from that book. These
Yeah.
are the points she took out of that book.
Supernatural ways.
The Supernatural Ways of Royalty. And it's this Christian author that went deep and down into this, which is really good.
This should be our next book.
I know. I was like, I looked it up. It's $10 on Amazon, guys. And I'm gonna go look in the library too, because I want it now. So, okay. So the next one I thought was pretty good too. I mean, they're all really good. I like this one a lot too. So a princess chooses friends wisely and intensely. Intensely. There you go. I can talk Spanish. Chooses friends wisely and intentionally. And the pauper allows friends to choose her.
You guys have heard this many times. Surround yourself with 5 people that you want to trade places with.
Mm-hmm.
That have what you want or aspire to have.
Yeah. Because if you're friends with the people that are pulling you down, you're going to get pulled down. So that was a big thing. And I mean, what was Vicki was saying, there are some friends that consider her her best friend, but she doesn't consider them, which is okay. You don't want to automatically assume, oh, well, they're my best friend, so I must be theirs. You know what I mean? You want to intently, like, choose and decide who you want. Okay. So a princess does more than enough activity, and a pauper does the minimum and expect it to happen. So we always talk about this. When your goals are up here, you want to match that activity. You're wanting to push as hard and hard as you can to reach that goal. But if your goal is here and you're doing this, you think that's going to happen? Nope. Never.
Well, and it's not just that. It's you don't want to set the bar like I'm gonna finish the IQ at the minimum.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna barely make it.
Barely.
You want to double and triple those expectations. You know. So I'm not only am I gonna finish it, I'm gonna have 5 extra team members, or you know, my unit's gonna do $5,000 more than what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. And then I want to go back to the friends. She said women who grow you and stretch you. That's what you want. You want to surround yourself with women
Not
who
comfortable.
are gonna stretch you, what you do, how you think, to be more and do more. You're like, oh yeah, it's okay, you know.
You're fine. Okay.
Oh, you didn't make any booking calls. That's okay. Yeah. You want we harass each other.
Dude, it's bad.
I'm a little competitive.
Just a bit. It's all by though, which is great.
But you know, we razz each other and like, you think you're
My
doing
trash
good.
talk
I got 5 more, and then no, well, I was okay. I just got 10.
See,
You know,
I tried trash talking. She laughed at me a little bit. It's
A
okay.
lot.
A little bit.
And poor Courtney, she's like, oh my god, I just got on here. You guys are all trash talking.
But out of love, like
Yeah.
it's not like
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 to push you.
you want to be pushed.
I laughed at him and said, welcome to the center.
It was bad. I was like, I'm ashamed. I'm gonna turn this off for a little bit, walk away. And, oh man. Okay, the last one out of the 8 is a princess manages her time, money, and emotions excellently. She manages her time, her money, and her emotions excellently. Because I'm sorry, we're all women. This is challenging here. And a pauper allows it to manage her.
To run you.
Well, to run you. Oh, I'm right.
That's time, money, and emotions run you.
Yeah.
So that means, and again, this is like what we were speaking about earlier. So I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time to make these booking calls or see these calls. So that dictates how you respond.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money to get inventory. Well, that's why you manage it so that you can achieve these things. And she was talking about, okay, so when you start out, you want to get a full store right away. You can't afford it? Okay. So you do these things, and you make these sales, and you put another 10% into what you order. So you can slowly build it up. But make sure that you're paying yourself.
Yeah.
And that could be part of your payment. And make sure you're paying off, if you've got a loan or you've got a credit card, that you manage your time and money wisely. Because if you let them run you and dictate how you do what you do, you're never going to get anywhere. You're always going to be in that rut, in that circle. So
I'm going to say a couple of other points from Friday night, because Saturdays I was online, so you guys can go watch it on Saturday. I feel like Friday was really like, this is the big league. That was pretty. I walked in and I thought it was just going to be a handful of us. No, there were 30 at least directors. So
from
Denver, everywhere. And there was one lady behind us, the director for 20 years. She pulled up on my Equinox, so I was a little jealous, but that's okay. I'll get mine. Okay. But it's just that was it. That was where you want to be. And so there was a couple of things she talked about, and I kind of want to put out there some of the phrases she said. One of them hit me hard. She's either on her knees or standing in a skincare class at the end of the table or at the end of the kitchen. Or she always was, and she became a Christian late in life. And she was very, she wanted to be a biology major, and that's what she wanted to do.
She wanted to be a doctor.
She wanted to be a doctor, and then decided, I don't like this anymore. And so she worked for an accounting firm, and then that didn't work out, and so she chose to be a stay-at-home mom. And she got invited to church, and she was trying to dissect everything and prove it wrong, which obviously we all know that doesn't work very well.
As Bible study.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And, but that was her thing, was she's either on her knees praying and doing quiet time or doing devotions, or she's standing in a skincare class. Not an event, a skincare class at their home, which was a big emphasis she put on their home. When you're doing it at your house, it might be more convenient for you, but you're not going to have as many guests show up, especially for a party. If you're doing it at their house, they're more comfortable. Their guests are going to be more comfortable because they know where they're going. But if you're telling them, oh, come to my house, I'm sorry, you don't know what's in my house. You don't know if I have gotten random. No, I don't. But that's the point, is it's going to be a better class for you and a better party for you if you're doing it at their home. Side note. Anyway. Anything else?
Your significance gives significance.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one too. I think she said it was amazing. And I mean, the other thing she talked about was, how many hours are you actually spending in a skincare class? How many hours are you actually being in front of people? Because a lot of times people are like, well, I'm not, I'm doing the work, but it's not happening. Well, what are you doing? Meetings don't count. Doing career chats are great, but being person to person with people, that's something she emphasized a lot. Like she said, she didn't go out and do these. She didn't go warm chatting. She didn't go, and that's great if it works for you. But for her, she's like, I don't got time for that. She had friends. She built relationships. She went out into the community and did bunko and bingo and there was a Bible study. And she had friends, and she built that. Yeah, there's a whole community out there that we're not even touching yet. And we're thinking if you're going to just get one lead, that's like a 50-50 it's going to stay. But when you build a friendship and a relationship, it's more likely than not. Oh yeah. So another thing she always asks. Oh yeah. So
2 things. So she always prays for a way to glorify God through Mary Kay. That's like her number 1 prayer. Another one she always prays is, Lord, I will do what you have for me. Nothing more, nothing less. So she's awesome. Anything else? There's a lot. There was a lot. Trying to find it. Oh, we relinquish the right to be selfish.
And when she listed the princess and the pauper thing, because we've been called to do more, and this is a way for us to have a ministry.
Yeah.
And she said she's brought more people in,
Baptize more people.
and baptized more people,
Yeah.
brought more people to God who didn't have God through Mary Kay.
Yeah.
And so she said she adds everybody friends that are on Facebook.
She had like 450 last seminar because she's like, okay, add them all. Unless they're sketchy looking. Then we'll kind of, she checks up on it.
Yeah, her goal was to fill her pew, the 2 pews in
Yeah.
the church, full of her Mary Kay customers.
Yep. Yeah.
And consultants. That was her goal.
She had a goal that she wanted to be able to write $1,000 check
To her
church.
church.
To her church
Every month. And she does.
One statement she said on Saturday that her goal wasn't with the church, was not to get customers
People
from the church.
Yeah.
It was
But
to
bring
build
it.
her church.
Yeah,
with her
but
Yes.
Dad said, yeah.
Yeah.
To bring people in.
This is a huge ministry, and I don't think we realize how big a ministry this is. We've had this conversation. That's okay. But I mean, you realize you're getting into their hearts with, yes, makeup, with skincare, but you're building that relationship. And that could be the best relationship they've had, and you just don't know. But
She said there was a point in time where she struggled with some of the superfluous things like the cars, and
Yeah.
the rings, and the jewelry, and how that's all superficial. And
Well, she said that that when she questioned God about why, that God said, let me
let me fish
Provide
with my
bait.
bait.
yes, let me fish with my own bait.
Yeah.
I did that hit me hard.
yeah.
Because I just wonder, like, it's diamonds, it's this, private prices, it's all these different things, which is great, but it's all materialistic thing.
Yeah.
And that's just like part of my prayer, like, Lord, why is this okay, but yet you don't want us to attach this. So please help me. Yes, I want a new home, and yes, I want a new car, and yes, I want all these things. I want to get out of debt, but it's not about that. It's about ministering to you and using my testimony to be able to further your kingdom through Mary Kay. And that's what it's
And
about.
then she said what she said, which was, let me fish with my
Yeah,
bait.
yeah.
So that's when you just,
He said to her,
Yeah,
let me fish with my own
because she
bait.
wanted, she had that balance in her life where these things are great,
yeah.
but they're not what
That's not what we're serving. We're not
So
serving the materialistic part of it.
So here's a huge thing. I just met her. Like, she walked in the door. I was already here. She walked in the door, and her and Candace have matching diamond rings. And I said, because this is where I'm at, I'm like, I want to join that club. I want to join that diamond club.
Oh, she wore one the entire night.
And she stopped what she was saying to Candace, peeked over and said, "What club do you want to join?"
Oh.
And I said, "The Diamond Club. I want to join that Diamond Club. I want one of those, one of those, one of those." And she said, "Hold on." Got in her purse, pulled out a jewelry box, filled with, and she's earned what, 53 carats of diamonds?
Oh yeah, so
or-
there's her jewelry box.
I thought it was 40.
No, it's
no,
50,
it's
50
50
something.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
she opened up this jewelry
She
box.
let all of us try it on.
She's all, and so we're looking, and she said, "Touch them, pick them up."
Wow, it's fine.
And I was like, "What?" I picked it up, and we're
Janet accidentally went home with hers on, and then
Did
came
she-
back.
Did she care?
No.
No.
She was like, okay.
So I'm playing with it, and we
Shoved
left.
it.
Yeah, I put it on. Yeah.
It didn't fit at first. She goes, nope, it's going on.
I have big knuckles. I have a dark past, so I have big knuckles. Right? I don't know if you guys can tell. That I'm a little rough around the edges. And so, I was wearing it, left here in my car by myself. She left with Candace. We met up at the restaurant and we had dinner.
She didn't even ask for it back.
She never asked for it back. I'm a stranger to her. She just met me, and I'm wearing a ring this big.
It was kind of crazy. I was
On my
terrified
finger.
to take one home.
Okay, so I'm walking out of the restaurant, and I play with my rings, and so I'm rolling it on my finger, and we're walking out of the restaurant. She never asked. She never said anything, and I was like, oh. I'm like, here's your ring back. But she said, did you like it? You want one? I'm like, yeah. She was like, did you enjoy wearing it? I'm like, yeah, I did. But she never for a second, like, I would have been like, so that girl out with my ring. Like, Jana left, was gone for like an hour.
Came
Came
back.
back, or at the restaurant, She never sweated, not once over this jewelry.
And it's not material.
No,
It does, and she said that.
Yeah,
She
she
said
said
that
that.
on Saturday. None of that means anything. She
No.
don't care about
She's
that.
like, okay, well,
And the fact that she had so much trust
with us. But she's
with
never
a
met
complete
before.
stranger, just because I'm a sister of hers.
Yep. It was crazy.
Elizabeth, the relinquish, what was it? Relinquish.
The right to be selfish.
You
Relinquish the right to be selfish.
You relinquish your right to anonymity.
Yeah.
That was another thing she
Well,
said.
and I was about to go to this one too. And another thing she also said, speaking of relinquishing, is you get stuck because you don't want to relinquish some things. There are some things that you just are not comfortable with, or just. But as a leader, you're pushed out of your comfort zone 100 times over. And so another cool thing she brought up with this book, I'm going to get it because it was amazing, was The Supernatural Ways of Royalty, was she talked about Moses. And we all know Moses was born as a Hebrew, and they were putting him to death, and all the babies didn't die, and so the mother sent him away. But he kind of went a little bit deeper on why Moses was raised in a palace. Why was it significant? And I never thought about this until he said it. Moses was raised as a prince, for a prince mentality. And he rose to be a leader, to lead the Hebrew slaves out of Egypt. Do you think a person born as a Hebrew slave, raised as a Hebrew slave, is going to be able to do that? Highly unlikely. But as a prince mentality, you're not second guessing yourself. You're not, he did for a hot second because, I'm sorry, Bernie Bush is talking to you. You're going to second guess it for a hot second. But he didn't. He was told what to do. He did it without thinking. So that was a big.
But he thought as a leader,
Not as a.
because he was raised to think as a leader. That's why God.
Exactly. Exactly.
We don't realize that we are children of the King, and how much greater are we, and how much more responsibility do we have as children of the King, that we are his princesses, and he expects so much more from us, and we don't walk that walk because we don't realize it. We don't realize or fathom that gift that we've been given. We just go about our life like humans, and we need to recognize.
She mentioned, because she is from Europe, so she grew up,
England, yeah.
watching royalty. And she said, do you think Princess Diana ran around in flip-flops and
T-shirts,
and pajama pants all day? No, she didn't. Because she's royalty. Because she gave up, she relinquished that, for that title, that she is held to a higher expectation. And so you have to treat yourself the same way. If you run around with your proper mentality of, I'm going to run around in my pajamas all day, that is the level where you're going to be.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to be. If we get dressed and take pride in how we look, even if we're not going anywhere or doing anything,
yeah, showing it up.
you've raised your standard of living. And you have to, for those of us who have children, it's an easier concept to understand that what they see, they're catching, picking it up. Not what you tell them to do, but what they see being done.
Yeah.
And we are expected to be that example for others.
Yeah.
That we have been called to this position to help and bless women.
Yeah.
And I didn't, that was not part of my agenda at all until Vicki kept talking about it. And I was like,
That was a
I never
deep
thought of it like that.
conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna bless women because I'm gonna make them feel good. Yes, I'm gonna do these things, and when I'm helping women, it helps me. But I never took it to the level of I'm bringing them something bigger.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them closer to God. Like I never thought that.
We're fishermen of men.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus called us.
That was foreign
go out and be-
concept.
He didn't just say it to Peter, John, and all that. He said it to us.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do. I'm gonna go out and further God's kingdom. How do we do that? By showing them love. By, showing them, humbling ourselves
Yeah.
before them. That we're not better than them. We're just people and we've been given a platform through Mary Kay to be able to do that. Of course, we have to work up to that. But, it doesn't matter what level of Mary Kay we're at.
Yeah.
We have a job to do.
So I'm going to end with this. I think that's good. And then we'll do it next. Okay. So last statement. This is it. I'm just going to let you sit with this. Follow the Lord instead of leading him. Follow the Lord instead of leading him to what you want. That was another big thing she said. I'm going to let you all sit with that. And I mean, that's just snippets of Friday night.
Say it one more time, please.
Follow the Lord instead of leading him. Yeah, no worries. And I'll type all of the 8 things in case you didn't get it. And I'll put it on tonight or sometime.
I was gonna say, I don't think we should focus on that right now.
No.
You have DIQ to be.
I was gonna say no.
Sorry,
All right.
ladies.
So
Promising stuff you can't do right now.
I'm under a microscope right now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Rough on the edges.
Okay, there we go.
What? Delegate.
Delegate. There we go. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm supposed to
you have a
delegate.
business to be growing too.
All right, ladies, everyone stand up. We're gonna do our empowering statements. All right. I am great.
I am great.
I am wonderful.
I am wonderful.
I am a woman of excellence.
I am a woman of excellence.
I am a superstar.
I am a superstar.
I'm a superstar.
I am a superstar.
There we go. I will let nobody push my button.
I will let nobody push my buttons.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will go over.
I will go over.
I will go under.
I will go under.
I will go around.
I will go around.
And I will straight through.
I will go straight through.
Any obstacle that comes my way.
Any obstacle that comes my way.
Because I am highly motivated.
Because I am highly motivated.
And truly dedicated.
Truly dedicated.
And a future free car driver in the making.
And a future free car driver in the making.
Don't forget your name.